Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome back to another training update video. This week is going to cover my bench press training over the last 2 weeks. Now, as you can probably tell from the title of the video, I've reached a point in my bench press training where I'm pretty beat up, overtrained, and fatigued right now. So the time has come for me to peel back my volume, recover, super compensate, and peak my bench press strength. So I've been bench pressing 3 days a week now since around the middle of November month. So over that time period, I've definitely accumulated a lot of training volume. I've built up my work capacity, and I'm at the point now where I am fatigued and overtrained. So that, on top of the fact that I'm working 12-hour night shifts for 21 days straight at a time, and this new high volume squat and deadlift training program I'm running, it's definitely taken its toll. Now, that's not a bad thing, because that's actually the process in which you get stronger. You build up that work capacity, you build up that training volume, and then what you do then is you dial back your volume, you recover, and then your body will super compensate with that, peak for strength, and bang, PR city. All right, so let's get into the training footage there now. So last week actually went pretty good. It was only this week that I really noticed that I was run down, and it was time to start tapering back that volume and start peaking for my strength. So on my main bench press day last week, on my heavy day, I worked up to 5 sets of 3 with 235 pounds. And despite my base being a little shaky and not maintaining as much tightness as I'd normally like, I was actually really happy with how these moved. Now, I do apologize for the video quality on this. The only bench in this gym is in front of the window, and my camera is shit. I desperately need a new camera. Who knows, maybe the Easter Bunny will bring me one. So my top single on this day was 250 pounds, and I think this is a really good example of where you can see my sticking point is, and for me that's about 2 to 3 inches off my chest. So that's the reason why I set up pin presses the way I do. I set them up to specifically target my sticking point. So I just wanted to make a quick comment regarding these top singles that I do on my heavy bench press day. This is something new that I started doing with this training cycle. So after I do my prescribed sets and reps, I will do a heavy top single, not a max, just to kind of prep my nervous system as the training is going on and as I lead up to that point where I'm ready for a 1 rep max. So when I started this back in November, my top single on my first week was 230 pounds, and now we're up to 250 pounds last week for my top single. So on my main or heavy bench press day for accessory work, I hit up my triceps. So I didn't record everything, but I did manage to record close grip bench press, which is what you're seeing here. I did 3 sets of 5 with 205 pounds. Then after that, I did some dumbbell skull crushers, rope pull downs, etc. Okay, so moving on to day 2, which is my pin press bench day. On this day, I did 5 sets of 3 with 250 pounds. I gotta say, I was definitely really pleased with how these moved. Again, setting those pins up at a level that mimics my sticking point, which is around 2 to 3 inches off my chest. For accessory work this day, I did shoulders. I didn't record anything, but I did some shoulder press, I did some side front raises, and face pulls. So on bench day 3, I worked up to 225 pounds for an AMRAP. Now, I only got 5 reps, but considering that this was my 3rd bench day of the week, I was actually pretty happy with that. My 5th rep was definitely a grinder for sure though. After that, I did a light back off set, which is 185 pounds for 8 reps. Nice and easy for sure. For accessory work, I did some back exercises. Actually, quite pleased that I managed to get my fat self to do 8 reps on pull-ups. For 3 sets at that too. Yay! Alright, so last week went pretty good overall, but let's move on now to training from this week where things got ugly. For my main bench day, I did a 5x3 routine again. I bumped up the weight 5 pounds from last week, so I'm working with 240-pound triples here. As you can see, my form wasn't the best. My ass was coming off the bench, and these were all grinders for sure. I got a towel there on the bench because commercial gyms suck. I'm using that there to try to get a bit of grip. I should have used a yoga mat like I did last week. They work a lot better. My last set was actually the best one, even though my ass flew off the bench on the 3rd rep. So for my top single, I bumped it up another 5 pounds from last week. So I did 255 pounds, and this was a redemption, a little bit of redemption, because not only did it move better than the 250-pound single from last week, it actually moved a lot better than my 240-pound triples on this day. Ass is still coming off the bench though. I really got to work on that. I'm starting to get lazy again, and I was doing so good for a while there. So again, I didn't record all my accessory work this week, but I did manage to record some of it. I did some weighted dips, which I haven't done in a while. I used a chain there, weighs about 40 pounds, and I think I did 4 or 5 sets of 10 reps. So moving on to day 2, which is my pin press bench day. I worked with 255 pounds for sets of 3. I was hoping to get 5 sets of 3 like I did last week, but these were really hard. The strength was not there at all, so I only did 3 sets. And last week I did 5 sets of 3 with 250, so it's only 5 pounds heavier, but these 255-pound triples moved really, really slow. They were tough, they were grinders, so you can definitely tell my strength wasn't there, so I cut it short after 3 sets. So for my accessory work, I did manage to record some overhead press. Now normally I do these standing up, but with all the beltless squats and deadlifts I've been doing for the last 4 weeks, I wanted to give my lower back a little break, so I did some seated overhead press. I did 2 sets of 5 with 135 pounds, and then I did 3 sets of 8 with 115 pounds. On my 3rd bench day of the week, I worked up to 230 pounds for an AMRAP set, so I bumped it up 5 pounds from last week. I only got 4 reps. I was really hoping to get 5 like I did with 225 from last week, but that's okay. I'm really gassed. You can tell the strength isn't there. I'm even being lazy with my setup and losing tightness. Alright guys, so that sums up the bench press training for the last 2 weeks. So as I said, now it's time to recover, peel back the volume, and super compensate and peak for my strength. As I stated, normally I bench press 3 days a week. This is on Tuesday, which is my heavy day. Thursdays when I do pin press, and then on Saturday is kind of like a moderate day or an AMRAP day. But anyway, so the game plan moving forward now, I'm just going to bench press twice a week, and that's going to be on Wednesday and on Saturdays. So my last bench press session was on a Saturday, so I'm not going to bench press again now next week until Wednesday, so that'll give me 3 days to recover, so it gives me extra rest. And the game plan next week is going to be a heavy bench press day, where it's going to be doubles on Wednesday. Then on Saturday it's going to be doubles for pin press. The following week then it's all going to be singles on my heavy day, and then singles on pin press. And then I'm probably going to take about 5 days off, maybe a week, and then I'm going to max out. I'm hoping to hit about 270 to to 275 pounds. Now you might look at some of my training footage from this week and it's like, man, like you had a hard time doing 240 pound triples, but you'd be surprised what your body can do once you taper volume and rest properly. So I'm hoping to hit about 270 to 275 pounds with a nice pause. Stay tuned, we'll see how that goes. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later.